To former England captain Tom Mitchell alongside. How do you see this one, Mitch?
Well, the easy call is to go with New Zealand. They're so dominant. Leroy Carter, the one for me, the difference maker.
Difficult one for the neutrals to call here. The home of England rugby, France or New Zealand, as Sam Dixon and Paulin Riva lead out the team. Brady Rush back in the New Zealand side, didn't play at all yesterday. Did the New Zealand number 2, but he will join the side today. There's the result so far. For the champions-elect, they're going to lift a trophy regardless today. The series trophy is theirs, but they'd like London, particularly after losing to Australia in the final last year. There is the France results. It was a real mixed bag for the French, but they're a side that, as I say, with a lot of firepower, can be very dangerous. Francisco Gonzalez, our referee as well. Our fourth and final quarter-final here on day 2 rather, the HSBC London Sevens. Couple of real war horses in both of these teams. Scott Curry, Tim Mikkelson, Jonathan Logel. 88 tournaments for the Frenchman, 89 as Stéphane Perez gets us underway in this quarter-final. Rokolisoa couldn't bring it down. It was Dixon who got it under real attention from Riva. But New Zealand get a chance to go first through. Rokolisoa, season-leading point scorer, gets a nice offload. That one's gone through the hands, though, of Sione Molia. Allows France to pile forward. Lilian Pasquet there, the 19G. He's been impressive for them this season. New Zealand maintain possession and will play out from in front of their own sticks through Dixon. Popping one forward, Rokolisoa. The footwork and then just that ability to shimmy and go through a defence. Chase coming across, but Rokolisoa, who scored 28 points yesterday, gets the first try of the match for New Zealand.
Well, there was absolutely nothing on there. New Zealand setting with massive width. And yet, it's a little lift. Rokolisoa coming around the corner, and he's up against Stéphane Perez, who's a good player and a good defender. And he's made him look ordinary. Brilliant work from Rokolisoa. That slow and go, the little change of tempo, so hard to defend.
And with that, Aquila Rokolisoa goes to 404 points for the season. And look at that, one of just 5 to score more than 400 points in a season. Some rarefied air for Aquila Rokolisoa. Just the casual 684 from Serevi in 2000.
That's insane.
New Zealand use this tactic a lot where they drive that restart long down deep into their opposition territory. That's a nice little ball. And another good offload too to Pasquet. Here's Perez. Tricky bounce. Was eventually scooped up by Ryan Rebage. And Logel to clear, working inside their own 22 at the moment. Here's Pasquet again. Now a little bit of room to move. And plenty of room to move with a lovely weaving run for Joseph, and then the ball didn't stick in the hands of the support runner, who was Perez. And New Zealand could look to counter here. It was a really promising breakout from Jefferson Lee Joseph. Now all of a sudden France back on defence as Rokolisoa spins his way through Logel and then around Perez, and then Curry can't hold on to that one. Knock-ons all over the shop.
Well, it's a good line break from France. They just didn't quite have the numbers or the options to execute. The error from Curry. There you go. So you still be top of the tree even when you make the most mess-ups.
Do you learn from your mistakes, perhaps?
It's something about endeavour. I think it is. I think it's something about playing on the edge, pushing the boundaries.
Bind. Set.
So New Zealand on a 9-game winning run against France, but a chance here for the French to strike back. That one's bobbling off hands all over the place and gone backwards, and it's scooped up by Curry. Able to remedy the mistake he just made. Morley, a little bit of footwork. Curry stayed in support, barreled into the fence, so rugged as always, Scott Curry. Making a welcome return to the New Zealand side the last couple of weeks. Dixon, offload was there for Collier, couldn't quite hang on. Had Rebage all over him. The quarter-final that's struggling to get out of second gear at the moment.
It is a little bit sticky. Well, not sticky enough, actually, the number of the drop balls we've having. That was actually a really nice follow-up tackle from Rebage coming in, tracking the offload runner, just managing to get in before Collier could secure the ball in two hands.
Hold the pressure, yes. Crouch.
London hasn't been the happiest of hunting grounds
Bind.
for New Zealand. Of course, finalists here last year.
What a final that was.
Some game. Henry Patterson in the corner. Australia, though, not going to be able to defend the title. Knocked out, and oh, what a ball, steaming onto it. Jefferson Lee Joseph, it hit him on the chest. And now France do strike back through this exciting 20-year-old Jefferson Lee Joseph.
Well, they get a pass to stick, and the end result is Joseph under the sticks. Great bit of work from Pasquet, drawing in the end defender, getting two to bite on him. And that's the key. Look at the enthusiasm in the crowd early doors.
They were running at him with him.
He didn't need the encouragement. He was only going one way.
No, he's a talent, though. As France go ahead 7-5.
Well, he wasn't able to finish earlier, but he was. Oh, there's a big name for you. A few of them knocking about the place.
Rokolisoa is lofted into the air to bring down this restart.
You push it down.
And New Zealand have come from behind a couple of times against France this season. Molia trying to work his way through traffic. Where Carter hasn't been a lot of room for Leroy as yet. Rokolisoa, the danger, spins out of one, flicks off another. New Zealand keeping the ball alive. Molia trying to get around the outside. Good tackle made, though, and left the ball sitting there to be plucked away. And then stolen back.
High.
And it'll be a penalty. A high shot on Collier, which is a long way up to make a high tackle. Carter. Scott Rokolisoa goes himself and then flings a lovely ball for Curry. He's just going to use his pace and power, Scott Curry, to charge to the line and just keep himself in as well. We're going to have a little check. I think he was all right when he flirted with that dead ball line.
Two more check. I just know, please.
Yeah, chicken try, no try.
Pushed it tight.
Agree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at the agility on the old boy.
Francesco?
Yep.
You may award for try.
Thank you.
Great work from Scott Curry. Really nice finish.
New Zealand go back in front. There'll be time for a kick-off after this conversion from Rokolisoa. Which he slots over nicely, so New Zealand now 12 points to 7.
It was this man again, Rokolisoa, just putting his teammate Scott Curry away on the outside. Big stride.
No time for the restart, so we go to the halftime break with New Zealand leading 12 points to 7 in the quarterfinal.
Maintenant, tous les ballons vont être importants. On est à Evans. He's backing himself a lovely sibling rivalry. Let's get into it then, guys. Here you go. In 3, 2, 1, go! All right, they're off. Ooh, pretty good. Wow. Oh, that was so close. Right now, let's go over to Passent to find out what your prize is going to be. Fantastic job for both of you. Having siblings, so both winners really right. Okay, Emily, do you want to press the button and find out what Great day ahead for sure at London Sevens. Well, thanks for taking part, guys. And maybe
The last day of the HSBC Seven seasons, and we've got South Africa coming up against Japan, the 9th place semi-finals, and USA and Spain. For now, we are in the last of our 4 quarter-finals. It's New Zealand leading France 12 points to 7. One of the great Frenchmen, huge bets and watching on. His team right in it too. The winner of this match will play Fiji in the semi-final. Argentina and Samoa also through to the last 4. As Rokolisoa gets us underway, we can go sideline. And one of the injured New Zealand players, Roderick Solo, is going to have a chat. Firstly, how are you, Roderick? You all right?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Had a little injury yesterday, but feeling a bit better today, so yeah.
You guys have had plenty of matchups against the French this season. What do you think the guys need to do in the second half to get through to a semi?
I think we just really need to stick to our structure. Trust the process of how we've been playing the whole year. But you know, France, they've been a hard team this whole season. So hopefully the boys will get stuck into them and hopefully come out with a win.
Hi, Roddy. It's Mitch up here. I got the burning question on everyone's lips. We're seeing your fresh fade at the barbers. Did you trust a West London barber to cut your hair, or was that someone else?
No, it was one of the boys on the team, Tupai Cook Savage. He's a barber back home, so most of the boys got their cuts, so I was just trying to look for something new to try out. So
I'll tell him I'll book myself in next time.
Yeah.
We'll let you go. Thanks so much, Roderick, and all the best for your recovery. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Oh, you could use Tupai Cook Savage's skills, Mitchell.
Ouch.
I'm just jealous. It's New Zealand looking to build here through Curry. Now there could be some space here. Carter's on the outside of Rokolisoa. Look at that ball in one hand, just trying to manipulate, then accelerate. Couldn't get that arm free up over the top. Good defence from France. As Dixon was just held up. Regan Ware can't link up with Molia.
Their number, please. No, where are they, please?
Come back up this way, shot coming on. Joseph again, massive shot on Dixon, who, I was going to say, lose that on the floor, and conceding the ball, conceding the penalty.
Well, here it is. Dixon turns just in time to see it coming from Joseph. That's technically wonderful. Gets his feet in close, gets a good shoulder contact and puts Dixon on his back. Pretty smart from Dixon though, because I think if France had just played with that ball and played the advantage, they might have been away. It's a pretty shrewd move from him to commit the penalty in the end.
Can he play it? Got Dixon, Scott Curry, Sam Dixon, Scott Curry trotting off.
So much nous in this New Zealand side. It's ridiculous. They just know the game inside out. Such strength.
Okay.
Mikkelson out there, William Iraguha out there now too for France, ball in hand. He's one to really ignite. It was brilliant for them in Toulouse last week. Lebage goes himself up the middle, tries to go between Dixon and Mikkelson, and that's not always the best option. And they're going to concede a penalty again, New Zealand. And allows Iraguha for the score, France to tie this match up. Nice little offload, and then the acceleration. Talk about impact coming off the bench. William Iraguha gives France a chance to go in front.
There's some pretty criminal dance moves, but there was nothing wrong with the action on the pitch. Iraguha doing what he does best, coming on off the bench and scoring tries for this French team. What a brilliant support line.
Riva to put France ahead. Oh, he's pushed it. So 12 all, 3.5 to go in the quarterfinal. And then a mistake too from the kickoff, so New Zealand will be handed possession on halfway.
Back-to-back errors off the boot for France.
Yes, sir.
Missing the conversion and not getting the restart right.
We're going to play Fiji in the semi-finals. If it's tied at the end, it's extra time, golden point as Rush fires a lovely ball for Collier, using that strength and those long arms to keep the French defenders at bay. Allows New Zealand to swing back onto attack. Rokolisoa for Dixon, and now Mikkelson and Logel come together. Rokolisoa scoots down the blind side, now comes back out and reloads through Rush, and Ware now. Worked hard in the middle, Regan Ware, Rush. First action for him at the London Sevens this weekend. New Zealand going backwards here, France swarming in on defence. Mikkelson. Collier. Slips through one, Iraguha comes at him, Mikkelson on the shoulder. And all the veterans combine, the experience and the patience, the calm of Tim Mikkelson to put New Zealand back in front.
Well, that's the old boys doing the business for the All Black Sevens. Snaratra diving for the tap tackle, couldn't get him. Mikkelson still got the pace to get all the way round, and importantly could be a 7.
And the conversion too, so New Zealand now just extend out 19-12, keeping France at bay.
Collier with the underarm fend. It's a really good tactic, just to shrug the tackler off and get round the outside.
We have time off, no worries.
I wonder whether Larach could have stayed on his feet and just maybe kept him wide.
Yeah.
Just his second tournament back, returned last week, first time since the Olympics, Tim Mikkelson. 93rd Sevens World Series tournament.
Subs completed, please.
He could get you the winner. They'll be looking to him now.
Tapia Cook Savage onto the field, and Mikkelson, did he just haul that and went out over the side at the same time? And it will be France ball.
Your mark. Man, here.
Couldn't save that one, Mikkelson. You just saw him on our screens. Aaron Grandidier on for France. Danger man setting up at centre outside William Iraguha here with Joseph on the outside. Pretty tasty backline that.
Into the final minute now of this quarter-final. France need a converted try to send us to extra time. There is danger man through the middle. Grandidier, another return from injury. Iraguha, New Zealand swarming in, and now it's going to open up for Carol. And the chase coming from Clark. Great change of direction as black jerseys round onto Mark Carol. High tackle though. Grandidier tap and go. France looking to tie this match up. Riva. He's got Larecha outside him. Riva can't go around Dixon. And he's stolen that back as the New Zealand captain lost his feet. Tap and go again. And then the runners coming in the form of Simon. Diving for the line. and a chance with the conversion to tie it up for France.
Well, you don't stop Simon from this distance. Joseph finds him, said, you go 5 metres, crash that one over, and what a finish. All about the kick.
Well, earlier this year, Toma Carol, he had ice in the veins in Vancouver. Wants the New Zealanders out of his way. He's got to kick this to tie it up and send it to Golden Point. Did he just time out? He took too long, and he won't get the chance to kick it. The 30-second gong when he's complaining the New Zealanders were walking all in his way, and he's probably got a good argument.
You only have 30 seconds to take a conversion in sevens, and he got timed out.
But what it means is New Zealand go through to the semi-finals. Here it is at the end.
Well, it was before that where they were actually in his line. And I feel a bit for him. You've got to be aware of the clock.
Well, a shake of the head. And New Zealand have made their way through. We thought we were off to Golden Point.
We talked about